Delhi University is introducing a 4-year undergraduate program from next year. That means all the existing degree, BA, BSc, BCom, everything will become 4-year program. Now, there are various groups opposing this move. The course structure has been already passed by the statutory bodies of the university, but I think the struggle now is on a larger front. We have formed a joint action front comprising groups of SCs, STs and OBC teachers, students, and also some left organizations are also there. We have given representations to the visitor of the university, who is the President of India, Sonia Gandhi, UGC and various other groups also. And a lot of political leaders have also extended support, like Ramvilas Paswan, Sharad Yadav, PL Punia and many others. Now the basic problem that we are trying to highlight is that if you switch from a 3-year degree program to a 4-year degree program, it's like you're making a major shift in the educational policy. And our argument is that any change in educational policy has to be initiated by the government. It cannot be left to the discretion or the autonomous power of a university, its vice chancellor and officials and professors who are under his control, because this affects not just the university, it affects the entire society. So the government should take a policy decision, and in the absence of such a policy decision, the government should stop this move of University of Delhi to introduce this program. And what are the other problems? For instance, when you move from 3 to 4 year, the expenses for this program automatically increases. According to one calculation, there will be around 33% of increase, even if you take it as the just the same amount. But as we know, cost of living goes up every year, and now the university is saying, okay, now we will give a fee waiver to SC/ST students, but then the fee actually comprises maybe 25% of the total expense, because if you are outstation candidate, hostel fee, even otherwise living expense, transport, everything goes up by so fee waiver is not going to solve this problem. And if higher education becomes expensive, the weaker sections of the society, SCs, STs, OBCs, marginalized people coming from outside, all of these people are going to be affected, and they will find it difficult to complete 4 years. And what we say is that the formulators of this program actually seem to know that a lot of people will find it difficult, and that's why they have given this convenient exit points. So after 2 years you can exit with a diploma, after 3 years you get a bachelor's degree, and after 4 years you get an honors degree. Now there are two problems with this. One is that if you say the exit points will help people who cannot continue education, that thinking itself is flawed, because as a policy maker, as an educationalist, as a vice chancellor of university, your primary task is to identify the reasons why people cannot complete education, and to devise strategies or policies that will enable students to complete education, and not say that, okay, if you can't complete 4 years, you go away with a degree or a diploma. So this is a flawed thinking. Instead of trying to retain students, they are trying to encourage dropout, so to say. So the second problem is that the diploma or the bachelor's degree is now not going to be equal to an honors degree. So when students get admitted to the program, on day one, everyone thinks that they are going to do a full 4-year program. But then a lot of constraints, financial constraints and all other constraints will kind of push a group of students from weaker sections, marginalized groups and so on, outside with lesser degrees or certificates of lesser value. So by giving these 3 different kinds of certificates, a diploma, degree and honors, to students who did not initially opt for this, everyone joins with the hope that they will get an honors degree, but then they are forced out of this system due to various pressures. And this means that instead of education being an equalizer, because reservation is provided in higher education on the hope that the social hierarchies, differences can be equalized to some extent. So education, instead of being an equalizer, now becomes a kind of way in which you further cement these social hierarchies. So this is a completely undesirable outcome of these three types of degrees. So the university is saying that earlier they had this pass or BA program versus honors distinction, which was unequal. Now they have honors courses for all. But our argument is that this pass versus honors actually encouraged people to study. So if you could not study the honors subject, you could get a BA program degree, which is also a 3-year degree, and it's considered equal to an honors degree for technical purposes. But now that's not going to be the case, because the honors is a 4-year degree, BA pass is a 3-year degree. And even to get a 3-year degree, now you have to study honors subjects till 3 years. So basically this is a completely unequal system. Earlier if you had an unequal system, now you are kind of replacing that with a system which is even more unequal. So this is a serious problem of the new change. Another problem, the university says that this is going to make increase employable opportunities. Now this is actually a completely unsubstantiated claim. How by doing these foundation courses you are going to increase employment chances? When you look at it, you will realize that this is actually more like a utopian kind of system, because I looked at one particular course, which is the applied language course. Now this course, in applied language, they teach you translation and interpreting, whatever that means. Now the funny thing about this course is that the main course objective is that this will give you employment opportunities in media houses, in dubbing, in films, and so on. Now this is okay, this is interesting actually, if there's a group of students who will be actually interested in these things. Now the funny thing about this course is that this is a compulsory course, which means around 70,000, 80,000 students who join DU will all be forced to do this course. Now there is no question how many of them are actually interested in translation, how many of them are interested in careers in media. Now without giving them an option like that, you force this course on 80,000 students, and then you claim that okay, now all of them have better employment opportunities because they can get employment in media. I mean, I think this is the most ridiculous kind of thinking one can have, because if you give someone to increase their employment opportunities in media, then first of all they should have the aptitude or interest for that. So which means it should have been an optional module. Now you are making it a compulsory module, and this makes, so any claim by saying that this is now all the 80,000 students are more employable because they have a chance in getting a job in media is completely unsubstantiated. And not only that, students who do not have an aptitude or liking for translation will find this course either very boring or difficult, and they may again lose interest, and this will also further the chances of them going out of the system. So this is a completely ill-conceived program. And also in the foundation courses, out of 75, 35 marks are for internal assessment, continuing projects and things like that. Now this is again going to be quite against the interest of students coming from SC/ST background and weaker sections, because there will be, there is likely to be a bias, and we have seen that in many other, like in AIMS, in IITs, in engineering colleges and all, wherever there is large-scale internal assessment, there have been instances, maybe 1 or 2 in a year, but even that is a grave thing, because quite often this kind of discrimination leads to suicides and things like that. So by increasing the internal assessment in the foundation courses, actually, there is more chances of students getting discriminated, and that may also is actually detrimental to the interest of students from SC/ST background. So we hear that the President of India has referred this matter to the HRD Ministry again for comments. So all is not lost in our battle. We hope that the ministry will consider, take into account all these various criticisms and apprehensions that have been raised, and will take a decision to stop this program and maybe review it, and if necessary introduce it later, but not definitely in this year.